Part 4. The stair changed its sound before it changed its shape. Until then, Loric's boots had struck stone with a dull, close rhythm. Step after step, the same hard note swallowed quickly by the dark. But now each footfall rang thinly, almost metallic, as though the stone beneath him had hollowed. He slowed. The steps looked no different. Same black stone, same worn centers, same damp seams, yet something in them answered his weight differently. The stair no longer felt built into the earth. It felt suspended inside it. The wall had pulled away slightly, leaving a narrow channel of darkness between stone and stair. Loric could see down through cracks where no cracks had been before. Beneath the steps, the space was open. He did not like that. The creature from beneath the stair had not returned, but he could feel the idea of it under him. Long fingers, pale face, calm mouth. Blood tells the truth only after men are done speaking. Loric descended with his left hand grazing the wall and his right near his sword. The lantern on his belt swung gently, making the shadows breathe across the steps. The woman's voice came again, closer now. Please. He could not tell whether it rose from 10 tones below or 100. The spiral, bent sound. It carried some words and murdered others. It made nearness into suspicion. Loric kept walking. The steps had begun to slope, not enough to be seen at first, enough to be felt in the knees. His high boots slipped once on a patch of damp stone, and he caught himself against the wall. The shield shifted on his back and knocked against his helmet with a hollow thud. He cursed under his breath and steadied himself. The wall under his hand was no longer cold. It was warm, not warm like sunlit rock, warm like skin under cloth. He pulled his hand back. The place where his fingers had touched the wall darkened briefly, 5 marks blooming in the stone before fading. Loric stared at them. Then he rubbed the ring. Memory stirred again, stronger this time. A hall, a banner, yellow cloth lifted high, a voice speaking words of oath and burden, a hand extended, his own younger hand rising to meet it. He forced the memory down before the stair could reach into it. Not here, he whispered. The stair gave no answer. The voice below did. Help me. Loric moved faster, not running. The stair was too treacherous. But he lengthened his stride, taking the steps with more urgency than wisdom. That was when the stair betrayed him. His right boot came down where a step should have been. There was nothing. No crumbling, no crack, no warning. The step simply was not there. His leg dropped into empty air. For one horrible breath, Loric's weight hung between motion and fall. His left hand shot toward the wall. His right arm jerked outward for balance. The shield on his back pulled him backward and sideways. The lantern swung hard against his thigh. His sword hilt slammed into his hip. His fingers scraped the wall. No grip. Stone tore skin from his fingertips. Then he fell, not straight down. The spiral took him. He struck the edge of a lower step ribs first, and the air exploded from his lungs. His helmet rang against stone. Sparks flashed white behind his eyes. The shield on his back caught the curve of the stair and spun him, twisting his body violently toward the open center. He fell again. His hand clawed at nothing. His boots struck stone and slipped. The lantern chain snapped tight against his belt and held, the flame flaring wildly behind cracked glass. He hit another step with his hip, then another with his knee. Then the world turned and he came down on his right shoulder. The pain was instant and enormous. It filled him before he could breathe. His shoulder struck the stair with the full weight of his body, shield, mail, sword, and fall behind it. Something inside him shifted where no part of a man should shift. A deep, wet grind traveled through the joint, then his arm came loose. Loric did not scream at first. The pain was too large for sound. He lay on the steps several turns below where he had fallen, half-curled, cheek pressed to cold stone, right arm twisted beneath him at an angle that made his stomach heave. His fingers tingled. His shoulder burned with white fire. Every heartbeat drove the pain deeper, then breath returned. With it came the sound. A rough, broken cry tore from his throat and struck the hollow center of the stair. It went down, not up. Down. The stair carried his pain below him like a message. Loric clenched his teeth until his jaw shook. He rolled onto his back and nearly blacked out when the dislocated shoulder shifted. The shield trapped him halfway, wedged against a step behind him. He fumbled with his left hand at the strap across his chest, fingers clumsy and slick. The lantern at his belt flickered. For a moment, the light went low enough that the stair vanished around him. In that dimness, something far below moved. Loric heard it, not footsteps, not claws, something larger, a shifting of weight in the deep, as if his cry had woken a sleeping thing. He froze. The pain in his shoulder pulsed. His right arm lay useless across his body, hand curled inward, fingers shaking. The stair around him had changed again. The steps here were wider, but not kinder. Their edges were sharper, unworn by ordinary passage. The stone looked newer and older at once, black-veined with dull red lines that pulsed faintly in the lantern glow. The wall had disappeared. On both sides now, the stair opened into the hollow, though narrow stone ribs arched overhead from one curve of the spiral to the next. He had fallen into a different part of the descent. Or the stair had brought him there. Loric dragged in a breath, then another. He sat up slowly. Pain punished him for every inch. The shield had saved his back from breaking, perhaps, but now it felt like a millstone strapped to him. He reached left-handed across his chest and pulled at the buckle. It resisted. He pulled harder. The leather finally slipped loose, and the shield dropped against the step behind him with a heavy crack. The sound rolled down. Again, something below shifted. Loric went still. The lantern flame steadied. He looked over the edge of the stair. Darkness. Far beneath, for half a breath, he saw lights, not lanterns. Eyes. Many eyes. Then they closed. Loric pressed his left hand against the stair and forced himself to his knees. His right arm hung wrong, shoulder dropped forward, the shape of it visibly broken beneath mail and cloth. Sweat ran down his face inside the helmet, his mouth filled with saliva. He swallowed hard and fought the urge to vomit. He could not use the sword arm, not like this, not well, maybe not at all. He looked at the short sword on his right side and almost laughed. Almost. The stair had not taken his blade. It had taken the arm that knew it. The woman's voice came again. Closer now. So close he thought for a moment she stood just beyond the next curve. You fell. Loric's head lifted. The voice was faint, but clearer. Not a cry now, a statement. He looked down the spiral. No one visible. His left hand went to the ring. He rubbed it. The motion hurt less than breathing. Keep your name, he whispered to the unseen one below, though he did not know whether he spoke to the person he sought, the woman ahead, or himself. He rose, slowly. His knees shook. His ribs ached where he had struck the steps. His helmet sat crooked. Blood ran from a cut near his brow into his beard. The lantern still burned, but the glass was cracked, and each movement made the flames shudder. He lifted the shield with his left hand, too heavy. He tried to sling it back over his shoulder and nearly collapsed when the motion pulled at the injured side. No, he could not carry it properly. Not now. Loric looked at the shield for a long moment. It had served him through wars, roads, ambushes, sieges, and nights when rain struck harder than arrows. It bore scars that remembered men whose faces he had forgotten. It had been his wall when walls failed. On this stair, it had become weight. He dragged it to the inner edge of the step and leaned it there, angled against the stone. Not abandoned, not willingly, left because survival demanded insult. His left hand lingered on the rim. Then he let go. The shield remained where he placed it, a dark round shape in the lantern glow, waiting like a promise he might never reclaim. Loric descended without it. The absence changed him. His back felt naked. His body felt lighter and less protected. The stair seemed to notice. A wind rose from below, the first true wind since he had entered the descent. It moved upward through the hollow center and touched the yellow cloth at his wrist, lifting its frayed ends. The vial beneath the knot tapped once against the ring. Memory, oath, purpose. Loric gritted his teeth and walked down. Every step sent pain through his shoulder. Every turn brought the woman's voice closer. And behind him, somewhere above, something scraped across stone. Not Bren, not the procession. Something else. Something that had heard him fall and begun to follow.